I first started collecting Rubik's Cubes in 2001. I was in Romania at the time with my wife, and her brother is a big puzzle fan, and he showed me a Rubik's Cube, and I then remembered all the time I'd spent with the Rubik's Cube and other puzzles back in the 80s, and never having solved one back then, it became almost something I had to do, an obsession. I'm living in Mississauga with my wife and 2 kids, 3 years and 1 year. I've been here for about 6 months now, new house. I'm a computer programmer. I've got a website related to my puzzles called TwistyPuzzles.com. When Rubik's Cube hit big, I was only 8 or 9 in the early 80s. So I was given a Rubik's Cube for Christmas like everyone. I'm fortunate that my mother kept these things and I was able to get them from her, so it's nice to have the very first one still. There was times when I was under a minute, but it does require constant practice to keep your brain thinking fast enough and keep your hands working fast enough to maintain a time like that. There are a lot of people in the world that can do under 15 seconds every time, whereas I wouldn't have a chance, just wouldn't have a chance. It's gone quite a ways since my first desire to solve a Rubik's Cube in 2001. I just kept wanting to buy more and more different ones to meet the challenges that each new puzzle provided in their solution. And it kind of got a little out of hand where I ended up collecting a lot more than just that. So different variations of things, color variations, sticker variations, company promotions, all kinds of different things. Your simple Rubik's Cube, the one that everyone knew, that everyone had in 1980-81, is not worth very much just because there's so many of them. So you start getting into high-value items for things that weren't as common, that didn't take hold when the big fad was going on, the Rubik's Cube fad. But there aren't very many of them around, or they weren't kept in very good condition. So those things can get very expensive, into the many hundreds of dollars. I've got 3 puzzles that are called Dino Cubes, for example, and they can go upwards of $500 US each. And just because there weren't very many of them, and they're unique. No other company tackled that approach to a puzzle. Anyone with a sizable collection would buy them immediately, even if they already had a couple. They pick these up. They're very rare. I do have categorizing when I'm placing things together, now either by their outward appearance or by how they work. And they connect together in so many different ways that, you know, a different person would display them differently. So I try to keep that in mind and don't worry about it too much. If one of the kids wants to play with one of them and puts it back in a different spot, well, I may get around to changing that, or if it seems to work, I'll leave it there. This side is what I call the other shapes side. A lot of these things in here were custom built by different people. This row here, for example, was built by myself. This one here is a modification of this puzzle. I just cut the corners off is the simple explanation, and then put stickers on it. This one moves completely differently. This is one that I keep intending to figure out how to solve, and I never have. So this might be the only one in here that's not solved. This is, of course, the Boba Fett and the Stormtroopers from Star Wars, and they just turn like a 2x2x2 puzzle, like this, and like this. This particular one came from a box of cereal. I must have had about 50 boxes of cereal that I gave away just to collect these things. This was used by a Speedcuber. It wasn't by me, but someone has used this quite a bit and has lubricated it up so it's turning very smoothly. When a Rubik's Cube comes out of the box, it is not this smooth. In 2003, we had a World Championships here in Toronto for which the winners of various events received trophies like these. I didn't win personally. I had to buy them from someone who won more than one event. But this is Erno Rubik, signed by him. When the Rubik's Cube hit really big, he was a communist and wasn't, allowed to be wealthy by his government. So I don't really know how things have worked out for him now, but Rubik's is still a company that's going today and making money, selling lots of these puzzles that you see here. So I'm sure he's doing all right. The tables that I have laid out here are basically just things that won't fit in the cabinet. There are a lot of different small knockoffs that were just different ideas for puzzles that were made by what looks like to be Chinese companies. The Pyramix is what they call these pyramid-shaped puzzles by Yui Meffert. Can be still bought online at mefferts.com. He's been selling them all this time, the past 20 years. A very successful puzzle. The Rubik's Cube shows up in movies, TV, commercials, print advertisements all the time. If you're looking for it, and I tend to, I do see it all the time. Just the other day I was watching the 40-Year-Old Virgin movie, and he's in there, he's saying, come on, you got to be able to do that. It's not a Rubik's Cube or whatever. And it's been in The Simpsons 4 or 5 times. It's just, you often see it sitting on a desk as they pan by in various movies or shows. It's just all over.